Since its premiere in 1960, The Flintstones has remained one of the crown jewels in the Hanna-Barbera cartoon empire. While the show came relatively early on in the studio's lifespan as a fledgling production company, it took them to new heights in the competitive world of primetime television and left an indelible mark on popular culture. Running for an unprecedented 6 seasons and 166 episodes until 1966, the show remains a cultural touchstone. Hello and welcome to Cinecrisis. Join me as we travel back to Bedrock and take a look at some of the finest episodes of The Flintstones. Number 10. Mother-in-Law's Visit. By midway through The Flintstones' third season, the show was ramping up for the imminent birth of baby Pebbles, an episode that will be a defining moment for the series. Only 3 episodes earlier, Wilma's mother, Pearl Slaghoople, makes her second appearance on the show in an episode that ranks in at number 10 on our list. While her debut episode, Trouble-in-Law, established Pearl as a thorn in Fred's side, this follow-up is a vastly superior exercise.
Watch out for that truck!
Yes, mother-in-law, dear?
And slow down. You're full of cactus juice, you know.
I haven't had one drop of cactus juice in months.
Ah!
Fred is doing everything he can to prove that he can be a sensitive and caring father-to-be, knowing that no matter what he does, Wilma's mother will never be satisfied. Of course, right from the get-go, Fred and Pearl begin feuding, which results in a hilarious mix-up where Wilma's mother is mistaken as Fred's pregnant wife and lands in the maternity ward.
You son-in-law!
Now, it wasn't my fault, mother-in-law, dear. I had to do what the officer told me to do.
The ultimate joke of the episode here is that, of course, mother-in-laws are the bane of all husbands' existences. Ironically, for all intents and purposes, Fred and Pearl should get along because they actually have a lot in common, including their appreciation for pool and bowling. Fred's charm offensive takes everything out of him as he debases himself time and again to please Wilma and keep the peace.
Take my chair, mother-in-law, dear. I will sit on a box. But I insist, mother-in-law, dear, you take the biggest stake.
But when Fred takes an undercover night job driving a taxi to earn enough money for the baby's crib, his mother-in-law becomes his unexpected best customer. See, Pearl is sure that Fred is out gallivanting around at night, and she is dead set on exposing him, and Fred uses this as an opportunity to turn the tables on her. Even though the ruse eventually gets revealed, it's extremely satisfying to see Fred get the upper hand on his obnoxious mother-in-law. Number 9. The Hot Piano. The first season of The Flintstones was a wild ride of inconsistency as the show searched to find its footing. By midway through the season, the series was beginning to look and feel like the venerable show we all know it to be, as characters' motivations and plot lines became more stable. And in my opinion, some of the best sitcom scenarios for The Flintstones always involve Fred and Barney getting into trouble when they were actually trying to do something good. In The Hot Piano, it's getting time for Fred and Wilma's wedding anniversary, and unlike the usual tradition, Fred is not forgotten this year.
Hey, what I want to know is, how come you remembered your anniversary this year?
Easy. I never forget Trash Day. And this year, our wedding anniversary falls on Trash Day.
And indeed, he has big plans for Wilma's gift. A genuine Stoneway piano, something she's always wanted. The problem, of course, is money. Fred only has $50 when he needs $1,500. Enter 88 Fingers Louie, a shifty character the boys meet outside the music shop who offers just what they need.
Do you get a guarantee with it?
Certainly. I guarantee it's a piano.
The Hot Piano shows the potential of the show at the back end of the first year when it's firing on all cylinders. There's colorful one-off side characters like the obnoxious salesman.
Fingers, fingers, fingers. Now let's not wrinkle the piano. Well, if it isn't Mr. Flintstone, the anniversary boy.
There's a mix of traditional dialogue humor with a healthy amount of slapstick here thanks to the guys trying to sneak a piano into the house at night without waking Wilma and epically failing. And most of all, there's the heart that would come to define the charm of what the Flintstones were all about. Number 8. Social Climbers. Unlike their space-age, upper-middle-class contemporaries, the Jetsons, the Flintstones and the Rubbles were decidedly blue-collar members of the working class. While they were certainly never poor, the family struggled to make ends meet and clearly lived in a lower socioeconomic status than most concurrent sitcom families. Social Climbers really puts an emphasis on the class divide between rich and poor, as Wilma and Betty run into an old high school acquaintance who married rich and has become an utter snob. Wanting to save face, the girls lie to their rich friend and pretend they too have struck gold and are members of the elite.
My wealthy, rich husband, Frederick III, is in the construction business.
And my wealthy, rich husband, Barney I, is in top secret work.
Their ruse is successful, and the girls score invitations to the swankiest party in Bedrock, the ambassador's reception. Meanwhile, Fred and Barney are excited because they too have secured tickets to what they think is the hottest social event of the season, the Volunteer Firemen's Ball.
To the what?
Joe Rockhead's Volunteer Fireman's Ball. Oh, I really should take Wilma out more often. This came as a big shock to her.
Realizing their husbands are a bit too uncouth and will embarrass them at the reception, the girls send them to charm school to refine their manners.
I can see you just made it in time. You both need lots of help.
Finally making it to the ambassador's reception, Wilma and Betty are disgusted by the behavior of their social betters with their elitism and snobbery.
Oh, we had a wonderful season on the Riviera. Everyone who is anyone was there.
I know, darling. Noel told me about it at Toulouse party for Sir Larry.
Fred and Barney, using their charm school lessons, make the best of the occasion, but the party is interrupted by an attempted robbery, for which the elites are helpless. But not Fred and Barney, who step in and save the day. Realizing that people are alike all over, the rich partygoers welcome the Flintstones and Rubbles into their fold, and everyone heads to the Fireman's Ball to really have a good time. Number 7, the X-ray story. If there's one recurring gag the Flintstones loved to do, it was that of the quack doctor, either providing blatantly wrong information or giving no help at all.
Well, he's a healthy-looking one. Now, what seems to be wrong with him?
He just won't eat.
Oh, that's no good.
The X-ray story takes that joke to the next level. Dino is sick and refuses to eat, so Fred takes him to the vet, where an X-ray reveals he has a dinopeptic germ. Dinopeptic germs are harmless to dinosaurs, but if a human were to be infected, it would mean certain death. So of course, when the nurse writes Fred's name instead of Dino's on the X-ray and it gets blown out the window, a mix-up of colossal proportions ensues, as now Wilma believes Fred is the one infected. However, a doctor informs her that there is a treatment for dinopeptic germs in humans. If the host can stay awake for 72 hours, the germ will wear itself out.
Dinopeptitis?
Yes, and to save Fred, I have to keep him active and awake for 72 hours.
And he doesn't know he's in danger?
No, we don't dare tell him. The doctor said the shock would be harmful.
Oh.
So now it's up to Wilma, Betty, and Barney to keep Fred awake for 3 days straight without him knowing why, because the shock of knowing one's terminal diagnosis could also cause a catastrophe. There are so many good bits in the X-ray story as the gang do all they can to keep an exhausted Fred from falling asleep before the ultimate truth is revealed.
Fred, keep your eyes open. Everybody's looking.
Hello, Fred.
Hi, Barney.
See? The toothpicks keep his eyes open. Pretty neat, huh?
Number 6, the Twitch. Another popular trope the Flintstones loved to parody was the contemporary music industry. Even back to the series' second episode, Hot Lips Hannigan, the show was spoofing and riffing on the culture's latest fads and trends. In the Twitch, the Ladies Auxiliary is holding a charity benefit, and Wilma is in charge of finding a headlining act, but they only have $35. So Fred, Mr. Know-It-All, decides to handle securing an act himself, promising to have a real showstopper even for this low budget. He seeks out an old friend at a talent agency, but after viewing the performers in his price range, comes up empty-handed.
What do you expect for the peanuts you're spending, Fred?
Desperate to save face and prevent an I told you so moment, he lies to Wilma and says he has succeeded.
Now tell me who you got. Come on, Fred. Who is it, please?
Quiet, Wilma. I'm relaxing.
Nervous to the point of desperation, he blurts out that he has signed Rock Roll, the hottest act in the country, known for his song The Twitch, to perform at the Ladies Auxiliary. Fred and Barney contemplate how to get Roll to come on board and end up pleading with him at his hotel, where he surprisingly agrees. Of course, the plot thickens when the guys are eating lunch with the rock star and he reveals his severe allergy to pickled dodo eggs, of which exposure will cause a temporary but total loss of his voice. Can you guess what happens on the night of the party? Waiting for the show to start, Rock Roll arrives and is unable to speak.
Oh, no! You mean pickled dodo-bird eggs? You ate some by mistake? Oh, Rock! You can't sing! I'm finished! I'm through!
Realizing the show must go on, Fred dons the singer's wig and guitar and proceeds to lip-sync the Twitch on stage to hilarious results.
There's a town I know where the hipsters go called Bedrock. Twitch, twitch, when you get an itch, then you do the twitch in Bedrock. Twitch, twitch, cause the twitching's fine, have yourself a time in Bedrock. Twitch, twitch.
The episode perfectly parodies contemporary pop music trends of the day, the 1960s obsession with cultural dance fads, and you have to admit, the Twitch itself is a pretty catchy tune. Number 5, Christmas Flintstone. Much like my top 10 for Dragnet, the Christmas episode of The Flintstones remains not only one of the series' finest, but also an annual tradition in my house. This delightful episode places Fred playing Santa as he tries to drum up some extra money for Christmas presents.
Aren't the store windows beautiful, Fred? They're all loaded with gifts. Yeah, the windows are loaded. It's me that isn't. I sure could use some extra money for presents.
Christmas Flintstone is purely and simply a magical episode that encapsulates everything great about the show and classic Christmas specials. Fred starts off doing a variety of menial tasks in the store, like wrapping presents and hauling stock. But he isn't really good at any of it, and of course gets fired for his incompetence. But when the store's Santa Claus calls out sick, Fred is perfect as a last-minute fill-in and is a smashing success with the customers.
Hello, 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 kiddies. Christmas is my favorite time of year because everyone becomes a Santa Claus.
In fact, Fred is so good at playing Santa that when the real Santa Claus falls ill on Christmas Eve, he sends 2 of his elves, Twinkie and Blinky, to recruit Fred to fill in for him.
Hey, what are you kids doing in here? The store's closed.
We're not kids. Blinky here is 420 years old. And Twinkie is 385.
Oh, knock it off.
Honest, we're 2 of Santa's helpers. And he needs your help, Mr. Flintstone. Will you come with us to the North Pole?
Kids, what imagination.
Christmas Flintstone also features one of the best Christmas gags of all time as Wilma frantically trims the tree in a panic as she receives an unexpected Santa at her door. The story concept here would be reused in the 1977 television special A Flintstone Christmas, where Fred again filled in for an infirm Santa Claus, but this time Barney would join him as his helper on the journey. And of course, none of this negates the gnawing questions that linger in my mind. What exactly are they celebrating here? They live in the Stone Age. BC, you know, the time before Christ? I guess that's just the magic of animation.
And to all of you, from all of us, Merry Christmas!
Number 4, Ann-Margrock Presents. Long before The Simpsons became infamous for its slew of celebrity guest appearances, the Flintstones were the OG animated sitcom to pull that trick off. While they started off with caricatures and lesser-known stars and appearances by some celebrities that may have lost their cultural cachet not long after they appeared, Hoagie Carmichael, anyone? The show had a real coup with the arrival of Ann-Margrock playing her Stone Age counterpart, Ann-Margrock.
Oh, isn't this wonderful?
No, you gotta sneak away, find someplace where nobody knows you, someplace where you can relax and get ready for the show.
Well, this is all right. I like it here.
As the Season 4 opener airing in September of 1963, Ann-Margrock Presents comes the same year Ann-Margrock was catapulted to superstardom with her role in Bye Bye Birdie, and has become one of the Flintstones' most memorable episodes. Bedrock is gearing up for the opening of a new amphitheater, the Bedrock Bowl, whose inaugural performance will headline Ann-Margrock in concert. As well, the venue is looking for other local acts to accompany her. Naturally, Fred and Barney, being the hams they are, look to audition and are preparing some rather unflattering musical numbers.
Fred and Barney sing on key. Fred and Barney singing do-re-mi.
Meanwhile, trying to escape the mobs of fans swarming her hotel, Ann-Margrock flees the city to try and find anonymity while awaiting her gig, and her car happens to break down right in front of the Flintstones' house. While seeking assistance, Pebbles takes an immediate liking to the red-haired stranger, and of course, the boys are oblivious to who is in their midst, as they act like real showbiz pros in front of her. Going as Annie, she decides to help the guys out with their performance, and Fred and Barney let her join the act as well. So much so that they think they've won the audition later that day.
Barney and I are going to be on the Ann-Margrock show. And you've been so darn sweet and helpful, we want you to appear with us.
You mean you'd take me on as a partner?
That's right. We think you got lots of talent. We want you to have every chance for a big career. See you backstage at 8.
When Annie realizes that Fred and Barney, in their earnestness, feel so upset that they won't be able to give her the big break she deserves when their appearance is canceled, she reveals her true identity to them and invites them on stage with her to perform in a wonderful show-stopping musical number at the episode's conclusion, making this one of the most feel-good and absolutely fun episodes of the series.
Ann-Margrock!
I ain't gonna be your fool no more. Cried until my eyes are sore.
Number 3, Dino Goes Hollyrock. The third season premiere of The Flintstones ushered in probably the finest and most consistent year of the show. And just like celebrity guest stars, another staple of The Flintstones was its unapologetic lampooning of Hollywood and celebrity culture. Dino Goes Hollyrock also gives a huge spotlight to Dino as the show flexes its muscles by expanding on an episode devoted to the Flintstones' pet dinosaur. In this episode, Dino auditions to become a member of his favorite television show, Sassy. Obviously a parody of one of contemporary TV's biggest hits, Lassie.
Sassy! Oh, sassy!
Dino is perhaps the show's biggest fan and is absolutely smitten with its canine dino star. But of course, the glamour of Hollyrock is never what it seems. As Fred and Dino arrive, they realize how empty and shallow the world of show business really is. The supposedly wholesome and endearing stars of the show, including Sassy herself, are vapid, vain, and obnoxious.
Cut!
My happy ending smiles are gonna get pretty sickly, Buster, if I don't start getting more close-ups. Yeah? Yeah.
Even Fred's dreams of raking it in by being Dino's manager make him realize that the bond between man and pet is stronger than he realizes. The final straw is when the producers start talking about altering Dino's appearance with plastic surgery, causing him to run away in fright back home to the Flintstones into Fred's waiting arms.
Here, boy! Oh, Dino's back! He's back!
I'm not gonna lie, the final minutes of this episode are enough to bring a tear to your eye as Fred gets weepy knowing that Dino is supposedly gone forever. It also showcases what makes Fred Flintstone such an endearing character. The bluster and the cynicism is all just a veneer for the true heart of gold within him. Number 2, Dr. Sinister. Season 4 of The Flintstones started to take the series in some interesting new directions with the introduction of a lot of horror and sci-fi concepts in episodes like The Gruesomes and A Haunted House Is Not a Home. Both great episodes in their own right. But by far one of the series' strangest episodes, Dr. Sinister, just so happens to also be one of the series' best, and might have nabbed the top spot if not for the fact that it's so off the beaten track.
You're about to get a demonstration of what happens to people who cross Dr. Sinister.
Look, for the last time, we were just going to the store to pick up some...
Quiet, fool.
By 1964, the Flintstones were in the midst of Season 4, and secret agent mania was gripping the world thanks to the overwhelming popularity of James Bond. It's no secret that Joe Barbera was a huge fan of 007 and was constantly trying to shoehorn in spy-related motifs into everything.
But there is no time to lose. The whole island will blow up in 5 to 6 seconds.
Say, madam, yes. Who told you about that lever to blow up the island?
Oh, that. I saw it in a J. Bondrock movie.
In this episode, the Flintstones and the Rubbles are getting ready for dinner, so the girls send the boys out to the supermarket to pick up some Brontosaurus burgers and some buns. Along the way, they are sidelined and detoured into delivering a letter to the mysterious Madam Yes.
Hello, good lookings. I am Madam Yes.
Madam, yes. Yabba Dabba Doo.
Being in the wrong place at the wrong time compounds itself increasingly as Fred and Barney are shanghaied to a remote island in the middle of the ocean.
Look, this whole thing is ridiculous. You must have us confused with somebody else. I'm Fred Flintstone, and this is Barney Rubble.
Stewardess, shut them up.
Okay, boss.
There the boys meet their captor, the megalomaniac Dr. Sinister, who has delusions of world domination. But the only thing standing in his way? He needs the plans, and he is sure Fred and Barney can give them to him.
Boys, perhaps I've misjudged you. You seem to be more clever than I thought. I have a proposition for you. How would you like to become my partners?
Yeah, partners?
Yes. Together we rule the world equally. 60% for me and 40% for you.
The constant allusion to James Bond and other spy movies of the day abound and are delightful as Fred and Barney make their escape from Dr. Sinister's lair, using their knowledge of J. Bondrock films and judo to keep him from destroying the world. It's a completely zany and ridiculous episode from start to finish that will mesmerize you on the first time viewing it, as it seems so unreal, but that's exactly why it's so great. And of course, never letting a good thing go to waste, most of the plot for this episode was recycled only 2 years later in the big screen feature film coda to the show, The Man Called Flintstone. Number 1, The Blessed Event. Although tough to pick, the birth of Pebbles Flintstone takes the cake for the ultimate episode of the show. While it may seem cliche to pick such a special episode like this, it bears mentioning just how special it actually is.
Careful, you're going too fast. Watch out for the bump.
Will you cut that out?
How can you yell at me like that in my condition? You're not fit to be the father of my child.
Oh, what is this?
Well, I'm just trying to act like Wilma.
Well, you're overdoing it.
The Flintstones broke new ground many times during its run, but Wilma's pregnancy and the birth of Pebbles during the show's third season was nothing less than monumental. It was virtually unheard of in a sitcom in the 1960s to showcase the addition of a new baby, having only been done on I Love Lucy, where the birth of Little Ricky took an already successful show into the stratosphere. Hoping to emulate the Ricardos, the birth of Pebbles was a huge ratings bonanza for the show and ushered in a brand new era for the Flintstones.
A chip off the old block, huh, Fred? More like a pebble off the old Flintstone.
What a wonderful name. Pebbles Flintstone.
Wilma is nearing her due date, and Fred is of course a nervous wreck. Always trying to hide behind his bluster, he goes out of his way to try and do everything he can to help Wilma during this time, even though it actually creates more confusion and problems than otherwise would have occurred. He is frantically obsessed with keeping the ambient environment quiet and calm for Wilma, even if he has to shout and yell to get it accomplished.
Shut that thing off! Wilma needs quiet!
But what am I going to do about all this tall grass?
Here's an eyebrow tweezer. Pull the grass out a blade at a time, but be quiet about it!
As well, his paranoia of getting to the hospital in time for the birth results in a mix-up of epic proportions, where he mistakes Dino for Wilma, who of course gets left behind at the house in the kerfuffle. The episode also delivers some great jokes about the imminent birthing experience and parenthood in general, as Fred encounters a particularly anxious fellow father-to-be in the waiting room.
The first time we came here, my wife ate 2 eggs for breakfast and had twins. The next time, she ate a triple-decker sandwich and had triplets.
Well, what are you so nervous about now?
This morning, she had a dozen donuts. Oh, me. Oh, my. Oh.
But most of all, the introduction of Pebbles Flintstone to the world is a tender and heartwarming moment that remains one of the landmarks of television history, making this episode deserving of the top spot on our list.
Are there any questions?
Well, there you have it. Those are my picks for the top 10 episodes of The Flintstones. To be sure, there are many other great episodes that didn't make the cut, so let me know if you agree or not with my choices and what your favorite episodes are by leaving a comment below. As always, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and we'll see you next time.